really the key application of integration is area under the curve. So this is graphically showing what the integral is actually doing in these problems. Here in A, we have the graph of y equals x squared. We're asked to find the area under the curve from x equals 0 to x equals 4. So it's displayed graphically. Here's the parabola. Here's the area we're interested in finding. From 0 to 4 in the x direction, we want to know the area of this region created under the curve. In order to do that, we translate it into an integral. It's the integral from my lower or left-sided x value of 0 to my upper or right-sided x value of 4 of the given function with respect to x. Now that we know what the integral is, we just have to apply our second fundamental theorem of calculus in order to integrate. So this x squared, I add 1 to. It becomes x to the third power. I divide by that new power of 3. And I evaluate it from lower left endpoint to upper right endpoint. When I plug in a 4, I get 4 cubed over 3. Then I subtract when I plug in a 0. I get 0 cubed over 3. 4 cubed is 64. So my final answer here would be 64 over 3. If I needed it as a decimal, 3 goes into 60 20 times, plus 1 more, so 21.33 repeating. But the general idea is the area of this region equals the integral from left endpoint to right endpoint of the function. If I now look at part B, they give us a new function, 0.1 x cubed. We're going from x equals 2 to x equals 4. So this is kind of a zoomed in version of what's going on here. But really what I need to be able to do is translate it into an integral, where the lower bound is the left endpoint 2, the upper bound is the right endpoint 4, and inside is a function dx. In this case, 0.1 x cubed dx. Here, when I integrate, the 0.1 stays. I add 1 to the power of x, so it becomes x to the 4th, and I divide by that new power. I'm evaluating from the lower endpoint to the upper endpoint. If I put this in my calculator, when I do 0.1 times 4 to the power of 4 divided by 4, it gives me an answer of 6.4. I'm going to subtract from that, same thing. When I put in a 2 to the power of 4, there I get an answer of 0.4. 6.4 minus 0.4 gives me a final answer of 6.